Hey guys, welcome to our Creator Open deck tech video. I went ahead and gathered up some of the deck techs for both the Degen creators and our community creators and just put them into one video for you so you guys could check out what some of our players are bringing to the table for the tournament tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoy and I'll see you guys later.
Hey everyone, Astrals Flame of Degenerate Gaming here to show you Jund Dragons, the deck that I'll be playing in the Degenerate Gaming Creator Open. You're going to see in the 1 mana slot, we've got some really nice includes. I've got Shambling Ghast, we're running just Spare Signals. We are early ramp and potentially early removal. Partnering into our 2 mana slot, I'm utilizing Kalane, the Prosperous Innkeeper, and Magda for that little bit of treasure synergy and early mana excel. By utilizing all of these initial cards, we generate extra mana that by turn 3, we can get some big haymakers already on the board. Now obviously ramps keep pretty important, but removal is also nice too. I'm running a triple Dragon's Fire, I'm running a double Meathook Massacre for board clear. We have 2 Soul Shatters in there. So big creature, big mana cost stuff out of the way, single target removal done. Board wipe against mono white, Meathook Massacre has me covered. For a little bit of a draw package, this is where the Deadly Dispute comes in. Also a little bit of ramp, kind of fun, but being able to draw 2 cards and sacrificing in Shambling Ghast gives us 2 treasures, draw 2, basically free, and then gets us into that nice big swing turn that I love. This is where the boys come in. The Immerstrom Predator, the Ebon Death Draco Lich, our Essica's Chariot, the Goldspan Dragon, and our good friend Ren and 7. We're going to be making some big things, big mana, big stuff, copying tokens, all the love that we love to do. Mana base wise, we're pretty tight here. I'm only 21 lands. We are running a couple of the mana lands, the Lair of the Hydra, the Hive of the Eye Tyrant, a couple Forest and Swamp, Field of Ruin, so we can deal with those pesky non-basic lands that our opponents like to run. Our All-Star Temple of the Dragon Queen, so we can always fix our mana base, and of course our pathways. So getting our colors to hit our spells is never an issue with this deck. What's really fun is when we get into games 2 and 3 of a best of 3 match. Our sideboard is pretty diverse. We're running a 4 discard package of Devour Intellects and Duresses, so we have a 2 and 2. Devour Intellect, when used with the treasure, is basically a Thoughtseize that doesn't cost you life, and Duress is just a nice key removal spell that we're going to be hit, something like an Alrund's Epiphany. Outland Liberator coming in clutch against that mono green mirror match, so you can get rid of their enchantment to double attack and toughness. Or you can get rid of Ranger class, Crush the Weak for the mono white, Infernal coming in for that control mat, so you just have a big dragon that's going down, Infernal Grasp for key removal, Price of Loyalty so we can steal some big creatures for our opponents and sacrifice them to that awesome Deadly Dispute. Calling Ritual again for that mono white matchup, we just blow up the board and get a ton of mana to play more free stuff. And lastly, of course, our secondary copy of the Ren and 7, so we can double up on our board depending on the matchup we're really going against. Very excited to play in this open. I hope you're excited to see some of the gameplay, and I wish everyone playing in the best of luck, and keep believing, friends. I'll see you on the match.
Veguagon here for Jeskai Vadric. You're going to be dropping out of the tournament after just 1 match. You're going to love it, trust me.
Alright, look at this. We've got Vadric. He's your main guy. He's your best friend. He's your pal. He's going to make all your answers and sorceries cost less to cast. And boom, we've got those. 34 of them, in fact, over 50% of the deck. That's a great deal when you're running Delver of Secrets. Slap that down turn 1, transform on turn 2. Your opponent is gonna love it. Then you can finish out the game with Seize the Storm for a huge elemental token.
Extra turns? You don't need them. Believe me, you'll be skipping these epiphanies like breakfast at Tiffany's.
So, we've got all these spells here to stop what your opponent wants to do. Chariot, Smoldering Egg, Removal, they don't need that. And when these over here pump up your creatures, you can swing for lethal if you don't miss it. Snowlands are boring. Stop having a boring mana base. Stop having a boring life. Look at this. You've got blue, red, and white mana whenever you want it. Inconsistent? Who said inconsistent?
So you got game 1, loss. Game 2, loss. Now you're out of the tournament. You got the whole day ahead of you. You can go outside.
Hey, Astrals, it's like a week before the tournament, and I haven't decided on a deck to play yet.
So, you gotta choose something, dude.
Can I play like Scurio combo? Like the Heliod, Scurio, gain a bunch of life, make a bunch of dudes, swing for lethal type of deal?
Yeah, totally. If you were playing Historic, dude, we're standard.
Well, then I don't know what to play. I want to play good cards, and I want to play blue. Any suggestions?
Yeah, pick the 2 best cards in a set, and then add blue. Done.
Okay, cool. So the two best cards in the set are Meadhook Massacre and Renin 7?
Pretty much, yeah. Otherwise, Eska's Chariot. But green, black, blue. Play Epiphany. You're good.
Oh my gosh. Hi everyone, Voiden from Degenerate Gaming here to talk about my Sultai Good Stuff list. My list is based 100% around the cards Store in the Festival. Store in the Festival allows you to look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put 2 permanent cards with value 5 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Then you put the rest on the bottom in any order. The card is fantastic, also has flashback, allows us to get some of the all-stars of the standard format into play, such as Renin 7, Loth, and Imarith. We get to use stuff like Eska's Chariot to copy the Renin 7 Treefolk token. We got a little bit of other all-stars in here too, like previous standard all-star, Binding of the Old Gods, fantastic removal spell, Briar Bridge Tracker, all-around great green card, Meathook Massacre to remove our opponent's boards, Power Word Kill, Infernal Grasp, and some counter spells for other Chariot-type mechanics. After we, have a game 1, game 2, whatever, if we're still in this, we pivot more into a control board. We sub out the Store in the Festivals to possibly play more Duresses, Blood Chief's Thirst, Go Blanks, be more of the Sultai control list of old. And our backup way to win is through Hall of the Storm Giants, Lair of the Hydra, and other just general great man lands. I believe this deck will just, be good enough to go more than 0-2 drop, but we'll see how the day goes. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon.
Hello, my name is Vincent_246. I am a Magic the Gathering content creator. I do some other games on offside, but mostly Magic. I specialize in Control. It is where I'm most comfortable with. You can find me on Twitch. The reason why I chose this list is because I did not want to play Is It Control. I don't really like the spells in the deck. I don't really care to play Goldspan Dragon. I don't really care to play Alrund's Epiphany. I know Alrund's Epiphany is in this deck, but I'm not planning on doing that. What most decks are trying to do. My goal is to present other decks that are viable and are fun to play and provide an entertainment experience. I am a part of Team Degenerate, and I am thankful for the opportunity to be on MTG Nerd Girls team. I hope you guys enjoy what I present to you, and I hope I can snake out a win.
Hi everyone, Lord Kaiju, also known as LK here. I am mostly a historic brawl gamer on Arena, and also I will occasionally do, a little bit of limited here and there, but I will play just about anything if it's got dragons in it. So without further ado, here comes the deck. I've broken this down into 5 different categories. Let's get right into category 1, the treasures category. And you'll see right here we've got Jasper Sentinel and Magna Brazen Outlaw, very potent combo for producing treasures and mana. Also, we've got the Prosperous Innkeeper, comes down, creates treasure, lets you gain a little bit of life every time you play another creature. Very helpful. And here's my favorite part, personally, my mascot, Goldspan Dragon in here to poop treasures, make them more valuable. Just all around good stuff. Alright, on to category 2. Category 2 here is the removal package, and we've got 4 copies of Dragon's Fire, 4 copies of Strategic Skull Smashing. Dragon's Fire, great single target removal, does 3 or 4 damage in this deck, instant speed, 2 mana, great removal spell. Also have 4 copies of Strategic Skull Smashing, great for removing 2 targets at once, and also can double as a land. Very important. Alright, on to category number 3. That'll be the Eska's Chariot package. That's going to have 4 copies of Briar Bridge Tracker, 4 copies of Eska's Chariot, and 2 copies of Renin 7. Renin 7 and Eska's Chariot, obviously a very potent combo there that we've come to fear in Standard. And we've got the Briar Bridge Tracker, which comes down, creates Clue Token, which can draw you cards. Can also be copied by the Chariot, and as long as you control any tokens on the field at any time, Briar Bridge Tracker is a 4/3 with Vigilance, which can crew the chariot all on its own. On to category number 4, that's going to be 3 copies of Moonveil Regent and 2 copies of Unexpected Windfall. I'm really liking the Moonveil Regent as a nice 4/4 flying for 4. Comes down, it can block gold spans and trade with them a lot of times, and when it trades, it can also ping depending on what permanents you've got in the field. It's also got this great card draw built in on it. You can discard your hand, draw an extra card. Then we've got Unexpected Windfall, really powerful ramp and card draw. It does cost an extra card, but oftentimes we will have dead cards, so it works really well in here. Alright, and finally, category number 5, the elephant in the room, Allrun's Epiphany, here to create bird tokens, to take extra turns, and to annoy the opponent's death. Really just to win game 1, and then on games 2 and 3, we're going to rely on our sideboard, and probably sideboard out the Epiphany, but we'll see. And I hope this does well, and I hope you enjoy the spicy stuff I got waiting in the sideboard.
Hi everybody, I'm Adam the Ant. You might know me as Adamant MTG on Arena, or Adam the Ant Plays on Twitch. I'm here to show you my mono blue tempo deck. Let's talk about some of the cards, and we start in the first column with the Ascendant Spirit, an early creature that can grow into a very scary mid to late game threat. Malevolent Hermit keeps the control decks at bay with his grumpy attitude. Your Spectral Adversary and Dragon Turtle control the creature game with ways to protect your own creatures or some combat tricks to eliminate your opponents. Suspicious Stowaway, an early threat, unblockable, and some card advantage synergy there. Into the second column, Fading Hopes and Divide by Zeros sort of muck up and create the tempo plays that you want. Celestis gives you some ramp and potential card advantage and life gain. And of course, your Disruption is there just to keep people honest. Into the mid to late game, you can close out things with Limrith, Lier, and the much maligned Allrun's Epiphany. Land is land, nothing too exciting there. And over in the sideboard, the plan is very straightforward. You've got 5 cards in against control, Disdainful Stroke, Test of Talents, and your Negate. You've got 6 cards in against creature decks, Ray of Frost and Tempted by the Auric. The rest of the cards are there to fill out the lesson board, and that's it. That's the deck. I intend to see a large and diverse types of decks, and I think this deck can handle everything by modally transforming, and I really like some of the interactions of the early cards, and I'm a big fan. So hopefully everything will go well. Regardless, we're going to have a good time, and thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.
Hello, I am Into the Verse, and I will be playing my Boris Burn deck. The deck's main idea is to do as much damage as possible before we can start burning down our opponent. We have a little bit of utility in the form of the Cherry Shelter to protect our creatures, the Showdown to draw cards, Angel Fire Ignition to get the damage through and have some life gain. We can flip the egg with our Angel Fire and our burn spells, and with some spells from our sideboard. So this deck is a lot of fun to play, and it's a 50-50 maybe or less chance that it will pop off, and when it do, it's really nice. So I hope to see you in the tournament, and until then, have a good day.
Hi folks, I'm Griffin Luscher. I'm here with a deck tech for Jund Midrange. If you know me from like my stream or my blog, then you might know that I'm really into Jund. But most of the time that's like in historic or in modern. But here we're playing standard Jund Midrange. A lot of cool stuff going on in standard right now that is pretty interesting from a real kind of nuts and bolts mid-range deck kind of standpoint. First and foremost, we've got good, cheap removal spells, keep the board clear early. We've got some cool cards, some cool creatures that can kind of gum up the ground, but give you a little bit of extra material after they trade off. Of course, we've got a Seeker's Chariot. Renin 7 is a nice Planeswalker. We're always in the market for Planeswalkers, but this one seems to be the one that pairs best with a Seeker's Chariot. And then in addition to that, we've got Inscription of Ruin, and it works really well with Tainted Adversary and Bloodthirsty Adversary. Specifically, Bloodthirsty and Inscription of Ruin together are really good at doing whatever you need to do to win a given game. When you have Bloodthirsty Adversary in your deck, lots of times you'll be getting back your Bloodthirsty Adversary with the Inscription and then pumping up the Bloodthirsty Adversary to cast Inscription again. It's a whole thing. And then also we've got a lot of utility lands, so there's a lot of flood protection here. Sideboard is pretty easy too. It's just cheap creature removal in Crippling Fear and Flunk, Go Blank and Duress to fight the Izzet decks and the control decks, and then Tovolar's Huntmaster seems to be just kind of the biggest thing to be doing if you're in a mid-range mirror match type of situation. And so that is the deck. If you want to learn more about my stuff, then you can check out my blog. It's jundlife.blogspot.com. Thanks for watching and wish me luck.
Hey, so this is the current iteration of Mono White Snow. I will be running in the Open this Saturday. I build all of my tournament decks around sideboard play, specifically around having a better game 2 and 3 than having an oppressive game 1. That's why the main board of this is very, very lacking in terms of things like Intrepid Advisory. I don't necessarily like that card. I don't like banking into one card, but we do have the 4 Spellbinders, the Apparitions, 3 of, the 2 Redains, the 3 Sentinels, and then the aggro package, 4 of the Familiar, the Usher of the Fallen, and then the Aspirant. But then, yeah, as you can see, a lot of the stuff is like 2 ofs, or even 1 ofs in some cases, and that's because it plays into sideboarding better. Like, a lot of my sideboard is 2 ofs Paladin class, 2 ofs Portable Hole, another Brutal Cathar, another Redain, another Skyclave, 3 of Commando, 2 Disenchants, 2 Fateful Absence, and then another Maul. So basically that's how I've always built tournament decks, and that's how I went about building this version of Mono White, specifically around the game 2 and the game 3. Having a main board that can change easily without losing sight on what its goal is, and in this case it's go wide as opposed to go big. That also includes not having the Intrepid Advisory. I don't like bank into a single creature strategies as good as it is and as good as the board pump is. I enjoy Adeline over it. I also enjoy the 1 of Sigrid. I think Sigrid's very underrated as a 1 of. And ultimately, I just feel like the man lands are where it's at. But yeah, this is it. This is Mono White Snow.
Hi there. My name's Cool Jets, but you can call me CJ. I've been playing Magic for over 27 years, and these days I can be found streaming Arena or other games under that name on Twitch. You can also follow me on Twitter with my real name at Josiah Scalro. When it comes to Constructed, I like playing decks that are a little out of left field, so when I found this mono black deck made by Gregors Kowalski, I knew what I was going to be slaving up for this tournament. The core of the deck functions with Sacrificial Synergy. We have Eye-Twitch, Shambling Ghast, Skyclave Shade, and tokens from Jadar and Sedgemoor Witch, and we use those to fuel cheap Eaten Alives and Deadly Dispute. In addition to providing sack outlets, most of these creatures are also not too sad if they get caught up in a Meat Hook Massacre. In Game 1, we are a mid-range deck that attempts to race down slow decks with early aggression before finishing them off with chip damage from the Meat Hook, or attacking with creature lands like Eye Tyrant or Faceless Haven. Against aggro decks, we attempt to trade creatures, use removal, and Meat Hook Massacre to clear the board before finishing them off with Wall Spiders or a recurred Skyclave Shade. The real beauty of the deck, however, is the sideboard, where we transform into even more of the type of deck our opponent has trouble with. Against slow decks, we board in 4 Go Blank and 2 Duress in order to tear apart their hand and keep them from casting cards of their graveyard. Against fast decks, we board into the 2 Blood in the Snow and the full Meat Hook Massacre package, along with Flunk, in order to keep the board clear. With this deck, you can expect to lose a fair amount of game ones before winning both sideboarded games once you've transformed into exactly what our opponent's deck has trouble with. This has been just a quick rundown of the deck, but if you want a more detailed breakdown, including all possible synergies, interactions, and a detailed sideboard guide, I suggest checking out Kowalski's Patreon. He goes into more details there. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you online.